Germany calling, Germany calling, Germany calling. One would describe as the height of cynicism the message sent by the First Lord of the Admiralty to the captain of the British destroyer Cossack, congratulating him on his gallant rescue efforts. Only a person of Mr. Churchill's mentality could congratulate anybody, first on shooting unarmed men, and secondly, on flagrantly violating normal.
Airmen of the Allied Expeditionary Force. You are about to embark upon the great crusade toward which we have striven these many months. The eyes of the world are upon you. The hopes and prayers of liberty-loving people everywhere march with you. In company with our brave allies and brothers in arms on other fronts, you will bring about the destruction of the German war machine, the elimination of Nazi tyranny over the oppressed peoples of Europe, and security for ourselves in a free world. Your task will not be an easy one. Your enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and battle-hardened. He will fight savagely. But this is the year 1944. Much has happened since the Nazi triumphs of 1940-41. The United Nations have inflicted upon the Germans great defeats in open battle, man to man. Our air offensive has seriously reduced their strength in the air and their capacity to wage war on the ground. Our home fronts have given us an overwhelming superiority in weapons and munitions of war, and placed at our disposal great reserves of trained fighting men. The tide has turned. The free men of the world are marching together to victory. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We will accept nothing less than full victory. Good luck, and let us all beseech the blessing of Almighty God upon this great and noble undertaking.
On the road to Mandalay, where the old floated lay, can't you hear the padders a-chunking from Rangoon to Mandalay? To Mandalay, where the flying fishes play, and the dawn comes up like thunder out of China across the bay. Ship me somewhere east of Suez, where the best is like the worst, and there aren't no 10 commandments, and a man can raise a thirst. Boots, 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 marching up and down again, and there's no discharge in the war. I shan't forget the night when I dropped behind the fight with a bullet where my belt plate should have been. I was choking mad with thirst, and the man who spied me first was our regimental bistie, Gunga Din. It was din, din, din. You limpin' limp of brick dust, Gunga Din. And though I belted you and played you, and you'll never be a major, you're a better man than I am, Gunga Din. On the road to Mandalay, where the flying fishes play all day, and the dawn comes up like thunder out of China across. Everybody awake! The bay!
Here is the news, read by Richard Wessel. Paris has been liberated. A communique just received from General Koenig announces that it has been liberated by French forces of the interior.
It's been one of the most marvellous sights I've ever seen, coming down the boulevard into the heart of Paris. Everywhere we went, people came running out of their houses, out of the shops, shaking hands with us. Children were held up to us to be kissed, and they clung around our necks.
I'm a cranky old Yank in the clanky old tank. I'm heading for a hullabaloo. I'll be riding my tank through a Tokyo bank, sure as I'm an army buckaroo. And when I set my khaki down in old Nagasaki, I'll be singing like a wacky jackaroo. And you can bet my cracky every sukiyaki lackey will be looking mighty tacky when I do. I'm a cranky old Yank in the clanky old tank, and I'm heading for a hullabaloo. I'll be riding my swank little hanky-panky tank through the streets of Yokohama with a Honolulu mama, singing those beat old flat on his seat-o, Hirohito blues. I'm a cranky old Yank in a clanky old tank, and I'm heading for a hullabaloo. I'll be riding my tank through a Tokyo bank, sure as I'm an army buckaroo. And when I set my khaki down in old Nagasaki, I'll be singing like a wacky jackaroo. And you can bet my cracky every sukiyaki lackey will be looking mighty tacky when I do. I'm a cranky old Yank in a clanky old tank, and I'm heading for a hullabaloo. I'll be riding my swank little hanky-panky tank through the streets of Yokohama with a Honolulu mama, singing those beat-o, flat on his seat-o, Hirohito blues, some blues.
Here's a special news bulletin. New York. The British Broadcasting Company has just reported that Adolf Hitler died of a stroke at the Reich Chancellery in the heart of burning Berlin. The German radio at Hamburg, a few minutes earlier, simply stated that he had died at his command post, quote, fighting up to his last breath against Bolshevism. The German radio then added that Admiral Karl Dönitz, the former commander of the Nazi Navy, had been appointed as Hitler's successor and had pledged himself to carry on the fight against the British, Americans, and Russians. Hamburg said significantly that Hitler had appointed Dönitz as his successor yesterday, Monday. Blue Network monitors have heard the BBC state in the past few minutes that Admiral Dönitz made the announcement personally over the Bremen radio in northern Germany, indicating that the fight would be directed from the north. Only last week, the most prominent Nazi military commentator surrendering to the American Ninth Army said Hitler's death would mean the end of German resistance. We emphasize, however, there has been no allied confirmation of the German story of Hitler's passing. This bulletin came from our New York newsroom.